Hello everyone, this is an introductory video for the second section of the BIT workshop on biodiversity data mobilization. This workshop is part of the Biodiversity Information for Development program, which is a program funded by the European Union and coordinated by the GBIF Secretariat. I am Alberto González Talaván and I'm the Senior Program Officer for Training in the GBIF Secretariat. I'm going to use a presentation to help me through this video, and I'm going to start it now. So during this 15 minutes video, I would like to share with you some general information about the workshop, about the groups that we are going to be using during the workshop and the trainers that will coordinate them. We are going to see also some information about the platforms that we will use during the workshop, and also the program itself, like very briefly. We will summarize some of the outcomes of the preparatory activities that you have been following in the previous months, and also some information about certification and assessment. So the workshop is planned to span over around 5 weeks for a total of approximately 30 work hours. It is very important that you reserve enough time to go through the activities that are planned for the workshop, and this amount of 30 hours is an approximation of what you should take into account that may take to go through all the activities. In this slide you can also see the URL for the website that has the most generic information about the workshop, and you can also see our social media hashtag GBIFBIT, which is used throughout the program and also in this workshop. So please use it to share your impressions and your experience through this workshop in your favorite social media platform. I would like to very briefly introduce your trainers in case you have not met them before. So in this picture you can see from right to left, first person is Nicolas Noé, who is an IT expert at the Belgium Biodiversity platform. He leads the data publication modules and he facilitates the Blue Group. To his left is Sophie Pamerlon, who is a biodiversity data engineer in GBIF France, and he leads the data utilization modules and facilitates the Green Group. The next person is Sharon Grant, who is a technology liaison to science at the Chicago's Field Museum. She leads the data mobilization planning modules and facilitates the Red Group. And the last trainer is Nestor Beltram, the head of the content management section of CIP Colombia. He leads the data curation, formatting, and transformation modules, and he facilitates the Yellow Group. The two people on the left is my colleague Melanie Raymond, Senior Program Officer for Notes Development here at the GBIF Secretariat, and myself. Both of us have coordinated this workshop. So each of these trainers will coordinate one of the work groups, which have been assigned 4 different colors. 2 of them will use English as the language to share information in the group, and 2 of them will use French. Please note the current composition of the groups, because some changes have happened since we started the first section of the workshop. We will use these groups to complete the exercises that are planned for the workshop. Most of the interactions will happen through the forums. So there is a generic forum for everyone who is subscribed to the workshop, but there is also specific forums for the different groups, and you are welcome to use the language associated to the group in these forums. But you will receive more information in each of the exercises when there will be some interactions that are focused on the work groups. Well, I would like to recommend you once again to go through the brochure if you haven't done so, because there is plenty of interesting information in there. So you have an introduction with a description of the workshop, but also about the activities linked to the BIT community that are happening associated to this workshop. There's a description of the agendas with information about the different sections, and also about the different modules, and also about the group composition. Most importantly, there is an introduction to the e-learning platform. You should have access to this video through the e-learning platform, but in any case, you have a brief introduction for the basics on how to use the e-learning platform there. And you can also find there some contact information in case you have trouble following any part of this workshop. You have contact information for how to reach us and the trainers in the brochure. As I mentioned, we're going to use several platforms to complete the activities. So here you have just once again the community site place pages where the generic information about the workshop is, including the group structure and some generic information about the evaluation and certification. We also will use as I already mentioned, the learning platform. The address is over there, and we will use it to access the resources, but also to be the base for all the online interactions. Although there is also other mailing lists that we can use besides the e-learning platform. We will also use two types of servers to help us during the practical exercises. There will be installations of the integrated publishing toolkit, the software tool that GBIF has developed to facilitate publishing through its network. But we will also use OpenRefine as a piece of software for the data cleaning and data transformation parts. And there will be also instances of this tool available for you. All the information associated to the workshop is also available as an offline version, which can be loaded into a USB stick. So you're welcome to contact us if you want to have access to this option. Very briefly, here is the program of the on-site events. Roughly each week is assigned, one of the modules is assigned to each of the weeks. So the first week is a bit, there's more activities on it, and there's this introduction, but also an introduction to basic concepts that are used across the different modules. And also the first of the modules, which is the planning of a biodiversity mobilization work project. That will also happen during the week number 1. Week number 2 is assigned to the digitization module, including the practice part of it. Week number 3 is about data preparation, data cleaning, data transformation, and the practice part associated to it. In week number 4, we will be talking about data publishing through the GBIF network and the software and how to prepare data for that and the practice. And week number 5 is actually devoted practically only to practice. So we will use different use cases for the practice, and then in week number 5, you will be able to practice have a full set of practice based on a use case. We will also complete the evaluation during this fifth and last week of the workshop. Yes, some words about the preparatory activities. Thank you very much to all of you who participate in these activities. It was great to see all the activity in the forum and through the different activities. Here you can see some summary of what happened associated to the preliminary questionnaire. So 29 people answered to the preliminary questionnaire, and 14 of those were online participants. So during modules 5 and 6, we will analyze the contents of this questionnaire. If you remember, it was mostly about the different type of data that you use, describing the digitization process that you already are carrying out in your institutions, if any. But we will see more about your results, as I said, in these 2 modules. We also put together a small database on biodiversity informatics tools. So it was very useful. Your contributions were very useful with the different links and pros and cons analyzed for the different tools. You still have access to it, so you're welcome to actually go and check what your colleagues have included in the database. But we will talk about its contents in modules 6 and 7 anyway. So just to finish this video, I would like to share with you some generic information about certification and assessment. Remember that there will be 2 capacity badges available, which are compatible with the Mozilla Open Badge standard. Both badges are over the same topic, biodiversity data mobilization, but there will be a basic badge and advanced badge, depending on the level of performance that you demonstrate through the exercises. So the contents that are behind those badges are described in the instructional design document. You have a link also here in the slide and in the comments of the video. And there you will find the description of the workshop, but most importantly, the goals and objectives of the workshop that are linked to these badges and to the certification system associated to the workshop. Besides that, there will be different opportunities for assessing the performance during the workshop. So all the modules will have some practice associated to them, and there will be interactions in the forum, and the trainers and group facilitators will assess informally what they see as with the different contributions for the different people. But it will be at the end of this section, so in the third section, when there will be a final assignment that will be used for the formal assessment of your skills. And to assess those assignments, we are going to use 4 public rubrics. These rubrics are grids where there's one associated to each of the main areas, the main modules that include this second section. And each of them are divided into skills. The skills are reflected in the rubric as rows. So each row will be a specific skill, and the different performance levels are described as columns. So to get one of the basic badges, you should try to demonstrate what is described in the column called sufficient performance, number 3. If you aim to get one of the advanced badges, then you should try to demonstrate the skills listed for the outstanding performance, number 4, in those rubrics. So I would recommend you to go through the rubrics carefully and read what is expected from you to achieve and to demonstrate through the exercises, and you remember those things while completing the exercises. Well, and that was everything that I wanted to share with you. So yes, once again, welcome to the course, and I hope to interact with you through the forums. Thank you very much for watching.